Ali, so far, we've heard this just from the Hamas side, the Palestinian side, not confirmed by the Israel side, and just outline for us why this could be so high profile and controversial.
Yeah, we don't know really any more information than what you've just read out, and that is that the director of the hospital has reportedly been detained by Israeli forces. And so we'll wait and see whether more information comes out. We have asked the IDF for comment on it. Detained also could mean a number of things. It could mean that they've briefly been held and will be released shortly. It could mean something a little bit more permanent. So we'll just have to wait and see, to be honest. But Al-Shifa Hospital, which is the largest and was the best resource hospital in Gaza, has been the focus for a number of weeks now. The Israeli military say has been used as a command center by Hamas with a network of tunnels underground. Some of those tunnels, incidentally, constructed by the Israelis themselves many, many years ago when they occupied the Gaza Strip. But the Israeli military now are trying to go through a lot of those tunnels very slowly because they're worried they could be booby-trapped. They're still not 100% certain that some Hamas fighters might not remain in them, but they are trying to go through those tunnels under the hospital to uncover what they say has been a centre for Hamas operations, and also potentially gather quite a lot of intelligence they might not be able to find underneath there. But it is important that the Israelis do prove that the tunnels were being used for significant purpose by Hamas, because under international law you can't attack a hospital unless it is being and demonstrably being used for military purposes.
Ali, I also wanted to ask about the latest on the hostage exchange. Yesterday, around this time, in fact, there was some hope that actual exchange would start as early as today. That's not the latest expectation. Is that these sorts of delays par for the course with something so complex, or is it a worrying development?
I'd say it's in the middle. These things do happen when you have fragile agreements that are broken between two sides who are at war. It often doesn't take much to see a delay or perhaps even a complete derailment of it. What I would say is that the Israelis, in terms of the Israeli government, don't seem to be overly concerned by this delay. They feel that it is some procedural elements that just need to be worked through, and it needs this extra 24 hours, maybe a bit longer, in order to do that. But the general vibe from here is that the truce is still on. It's just that it will not come in, or has not come into play today as was expected, but it more likely will be tomorrow now.
And Ali, just finally, I wanted to just throw this at you. We just got pictures in of Lord Cameron, the Foreign Secretary, visiting Kibbutz Be'eri and seeing the aftermath of Hamas's deadly 7th of October attacks. We're going to play those pictures for you now. Clearly, he just landed this morning, and we've also learned he's going to meet the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, not the Foreign Secretary equivalent. Just wondering what your take is of that. Of course, the two men know each other relatively well, and what might be on the agenda for Lord Cameron.
Well, Lord Cameron has been down in one of the kibbutzim that was attacked on October 7th, Kibbutz Be'eri, which is down on the southern border with Gaza, this morning, seeing for himself the devastation that came with that attack. But he did visit with Eli Cohen, who is the Israeli foreign minister. So the two foreign ministers were down there. I should say Eli Cohen, although he is the foreign minister for Israel, has been slightly sidelined from this war. He's not a part of the war cabinet, and so he's not in the inner circle of decision makers. But Cameron will then visit Benjamin Netanyahu. He'll also see the Israeli President Isaac Herzog. And it follows what is now quite a well-worn pattern of foreign politicians coming over here, whether it is leaders like Rishi Sunak, Joe Biden, both of which have been here, or foreign ministers like Antony Blinken, and now David Cameron. James Cleverly as well was over here a few weeks back. And so he'll meet with the war cabinet, he'll get an update from them. I wouldn't be surprised if he also looks to meet some of the Palestinian representation as well. That's something that Emmanuel Macron did. It's not something that most leaders have done, but it's something that Emmanuel Macron did. So David Cameron might also put that into his schedule. And then I think there'll be a wider element of the Middle East to his visit to the region. And it'll be really interesting to see whether, as a former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, whether or not that opens doors for him to see leaders of countries as opposed to, as you were referring to, having that foreign minister to foreign minister relationship.